Hey everybody, this is Joseph Foley, and welcome to my channel where I have shown a lot of odds, ends, and this and that. And today I want to show you something really cool. So, back in 1993, a card series came out. Back in the day, in the early 90s, they had collectible cards, not just card games. They had them all over the place. They had them not just for baseball, football, basketball, but they had them for comic books of all sorts. They had them for just everything. And this was one I think I had a few cards from. And recently I was watching Cartoonist Kayfabe, one of their older episodes, and they talked about this as they were going through an old Wizard magazine. And I thought, oh man, that'd be so cool to have those. It is the Creator's Universe. Let me show you this. So that is the first card that's in here. I ordered it, all 100 cards, and it was all these different comic book artists that were showing their creations. Like, hey, we got creator-owned stuff too. It was like their answer to Image Comics at the time. And so this is Adam Hughes, his All-American Girl. Okay, I'm just going to be honest. I don't know who All-American Girl was. Let me move Creepy Doll. Put this right here. So that was Adam Hughes. I'm just going to go through this stuff just for fun with you guys. I can't read that with this camera. Anyway, All-American Girl, Vitamin X, Vowed to End the War, yada yada. So that was Adam Hughes, number one. I don't know if all these are in order. There's that one. The next one, actually, I do know quite well. That's American Flag by Howard Chaykin, and that is one of the greatest comic books of all time. So this was his creator-owned characters from the early 80s, and he had a finite run. I've read several issues. I just recently got a collected graphic novel of the first, I don't know, 8, 10, something like that, and it's a masterpiece. If you like adult, mature, sort of entertainment comic books he's a master of the comic book art form. I'm really excited for this American Flag one. That's a beautiful piece of art right there. You got that right there. Go look up American Flag. Let's move on to the next one. Well, we got Anno Talk. It's pretty cool. That's a nice looking artwork. Who did that? That is created by Mark Pennington. I don't know. His art looks familiar, and I'm sure I've read other stuff. He's got some nice form going on there. I've never heard of that character before. Here we go for the next one. Aquan. So Aqua something. Aquan. Pretty nice looking artwork. Digging that. My creator is Dan Jurgens. Okay. Dan Jurgens is actually... let me look at that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't like right off the bat look like a Dan Jurgens drawing, but obviously it is. Dan Jurgens is one of my favorite comic book artists of all time. He is best known for writing and drawing Superman during the late 80s throughout the mid to late 90s. He's creator of Booster Gold. I've never heard of this character. I'm going to have to look this up to see if he ever made an actual comic book with her. She is sexy. Yeah. All right, next one we got going here. I have Arc. Okay, looks like one of the Image guys. Brandon Peterson, yeah. So Brandon Peterson, that's interesting. That must be, yeah, that's like earlier, Brandon Peterson. He kind of had his artwork evolve over the years, and he did some stuff with CrossGen, and I really like some of his stuff in the late 90s, early 2000s. That's a nice piece of art. I've never heard of Arc, the character, though. That's pretty cool. Have to look that one up. This one, I think everybody will know. This one's obviously Frank Miller, Ava from Sin City. It's a nice looking piece of artwork. Good times. And next one we have Beta. I've never heard of that character before. That's a nice looking... Let everybody get a nice look at that one. Nice piece of artwork. Very much of its time. Let's see. Who you got for me? Chief of Operations Dave Johnson. Yeah, Dave Johnson, he's done a lot of stuff over the years. He's a good artist. All right, what we got? This one, Blast. I like that. I like the way that the eyes are drawn. The crypt. The creator is, my creator is Jan Jurisma. Okay, I don't know that. I have to look that one up. That looks kind of like, I need a character too. What would be cool? Well, what if one arm had like a mystical energy blasting and the other one was a hook? There's many characters in the 90s that had hooks or knives for hands, and oftentimes it would be called hook hand or knife hand or something like that. All right. Blood Sid? Side? I guess. Sadhe. I don't know. It's a nice looking drawing, though. A lot of characters in the 90s, 2000s. John Bogdanov, yep. It doesn't look like John Bogdanov from this. He changed up his style a little bit. He is very well known for drawing Superman and X Factor back in the 80s. But Superman in the 90s. I always liked him, but that doesn't really look like his typical stuff. Looks like he was trying to change it up for, look, I'm a little different, a little kind of like these other people, though. Here we go. Blood Witch. Sexy. I like those hooters. That's nice. He was the creator. Joe Madureira. It looks very different than his stuff that later came out. If you remember, he got very big with X-Men back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Really mid to late 90s. He had a kind of, this is before, obviously, he started having all the manga influence. You could later on, he ended up doing Ultimates 3 with Jeff Loeb. You get to see, definitely recommend looking up his artwork. This is very different than for him, though. Blood Witch. I don't remember him ever using that one again. This one, yes, so we do know that Body Bags is very popular. It's still popular to this day, actually. So, Jason Pearson, he has the characters in the comic book Body Bags, which is published through, I think, Image and other ones. It's so funny that his characters were in 93, but they didn't really, take off, or they only kind of ever did, medium, I guess, as far as popular consciousness goes in comic books. Oh yeah, I know Body Bags. Have you read it? Like an issue, maybe. It's a nice piece of artwork. It's funny that's that 1993. His artwork hasn't really changed. Which is one. Body Blades. I told you. Except it's not just his hands, though. That's a nice piece of artwork. Body Blades. I don't know if I would ever call myself Body Blades. By Ray Weisfeld. It's a nice piece of artwork, though. I'll go to the next one. Brave. So a Native American sort of thing going. I do like that art. It's nice art. I don't know why we are doing stuff with a background like that, because if we look, why? Is that the same? No, that's Coley Hamner. Yeah, I like Coley Hamner. He's pretty decent. I've read seen some of his work here and there. More in the mid 2000s, right? But yeah, never heard of that character. I don't know what's going on with this. They were in the same studio, maybe. Willing to bet they were working together in some capacity. Yeah. This next one. Breed. Oh, it's nice. It's cute. Anyway. Jim Starlin. Yep. Jim Starlin. He's old school. 70s, 80s, 90s. Did a lot of stuff with Marvel, DC. A lot of Marvel Cosmic sort of stuff. Dreadstar. Things like that. It's a nice piece of work. He probably created thousands of characters, and that was just a random character he had laying around. Brawn. Is that Barry Windsor Smith? Yep, Barry Windsor Smith. It is unmistakable to see a Barry Windsor Smith. Beautiful artwork. He has some Zepatone going on in the background there. It's nice. I have no idea what that character's for. I'll just do a couple more, then we'll move on to other stuff. Bulldog. All right, that's nice. Derek Robertson. Derek Robertson became big with working with Garth Ennis later on The Boys and other stuff. All right, his artwork style has it's changed over the years. It's similar but different. One more. Okay, we got Bunker. I like that a lot. Nice looking character. Brandon Peterson. So they have multiple of the same artists here. So yeah, that's a lot more like detailed, different than for Brandon Peterson when he started working on other stuff. Like it. Anyhow, well, thanks for joining me. I'm not going to make this too long. There's a lot of cards right there. Let me show you one more. Chain. You know, it'd be really cool if we had a character, but it was named Chain, but like if you changed the way that like it was spelled. I feel like a lot of people that were raised in the 80s, 90s ended up having children where they like, wouldn't it be cool if we named our child like Jan, but we like added an apostrophe star above this thing, and then we like change this letter over here. So, and then every time we like say, like write down her name and somebody goes, is it Juwayin? And we say, no, stupid, it's Jan. That's what that reminds me of when people do that. Waiting to spell your names like regular fucking people. Anyway, Chain. That's a nice picture though. Who did that? That one, Dan Jurgens. Nice picture. Sorry, Danny. That's still a lame way to write Chain. Just spell it Chain. Could you do that? I can see that being a bit more like his inking style. Maybe if like Brett Breeding had inked it or something like that, but I'm willing to bet Dan Jurgens inked that himself. Anyway, thanks for joining me. This has been fun. I will have more videos with more of these cards. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.